So in the previous lecture we have seen how to draw the substitute frame, right? For design of beam, we are doing the design of beam. So we have drawn a substitute frame and we have shown all the loading that are acting on our beam, right? So today we are going to find out the moments that are acting at the ends, and to find out the moments, let me draw that substitute frame again. This was the substitute frame that was drawn yesterday, or say in the previous session. This is A, B, C, D. There is a UDL acting over it, right? And E, F, G, H, I, J, K and L up to L point. This height is 3.35. This height of column again 3.35. This is 6 meter distance. This is 4 meter distance. This is again 6 meter distance. The intensity of loading that is acting is 5.75. Oh, sorry, not 5.75, it is 50.75. 50.75. Here also it is 50.75, and in the middle portion we have 46.82. Right, so now we need to solve this using the moment distribution method, right? So for that we require the sizes of beam and column. So we already assumed the size of beam in the previous session. The size of beam that we assumed is 230 mm by 300 mm. This is 230 mm and this is 300 mm, and we are going to assume the column size as per IS code. Minimum column size we can have is 300 mm by 300. This is just the assumption, right? We are assuming size of beam and size of column. So from these sizes we can find out the moment of inertia, right? So this is moment of inertia IB is rectangular section. Moment of inertia formula is BD cube by 12, right? BD cube divided by 12. So B is 230 multiplied by D is 300 cube divided by 12. So if you calculate this answer, you get your moment of inertia for beam as 517.5 into 10 raised to 6, unit is mm raised to 4. Same way we need to calculate moment of inertia for column. So it is denoted, let us denote it as by IC. Again same formula, BD cube by 12. So 300 multiplied by 300 cube divided by 12. 300 multiplied by 300 cube divided by 12. So I am getting my answer as 675 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. So this is my moment of inertia for column, right? Next we need to find out fixed end moments. We are finding the moments using moment distribution method, right? So to moment distribution method we require fixed end moments also, right? So let us calculate the fixed end moments. So next step is the calculation of fixed end moments. So right here fixed end moment, right? So now we are going to find out fixed end moments. So as you know, this is my beam A, B, B, C and CD, right? So first span is AB, so MFAB, MFAB. So if I consider only this man, right? So fixed beam having UDL, right? So formula for the bending moment is directly we can find out minus WL square by 12, right? AB minus WL square by 12. So we know the value of W, it is 50.75, L is 6, 50.75 multiplied by 6 square divided by 12. So if you calculate this value, this answer comes out to be minus 152.25, minus 152.25 kilonewton into meter. This is the unit for moment MFAB, right? Same way we need to calculate moment for BA also, from this point to this point, right? MFBA. So it will be same value but positive, WL square by 12. So same value but positive, so plus 52.25 plus 152.25 kilonewton into meter. This is my answer for fixed end moment at BA. Same way we need to find out the value of BC. So MFBC is again negative. MFBC is minus WL square by 12. So here W is 46.82. So 46.82 multiplied by 4 square divided by 12, because length is 4 meter for this beam. So answer is minus 62.42 kilonewton into meter. Similarly, MFCB is plus WL square by 12. So the value will be plus 62.42 kilonewton into meter. Right? And the last span, we reach up to the last span, that is MFCD. So it is equal to AB because both the dimensions and loadings are same, right? So just quickly write down MFCD is equal to minus 152.25. Is it? MFCD is minus 152.25 and MFDC, right? MFDC is plus 152.25. Right, so we have calculated the fixed end moments, right? So this is how you can calculate your fixed end moments using the direct formula. Then next we need to find out the distribution factor. Next we need to find out the distribution factor DF, right? So let us calculate the distribution factor. So for that, let me rub this. Next step is to find out the distribution factor. So today we are going to find out fixed end moments using moment distribution method. So this is the process which is to be followed to find out the fixed end moments. We require these values of fixed end moments to solve using the moment distribution method. Next we are going to find out the fixed end moments. Fixed end moment is already found out, then we found out distribution factor. Most of you will be knowing it as DF, right? Distribution factor or DF. So for that we need to draw a table, right? So first column is serial number. After serial number we require joint. After joint we require members attaching that joint, right? After members we require K, that is I by L. And then we need to find out summation of K. And last, distribution factor is K divided by summation of K. Distribution factor is K divided by summation of K, right? So all this stuff has been covered in your previous semester structural analysis. So I may not go into the details of how this is coming. For the moment, just remember this is the table that you are supposed to prepare. So serial number 1, first joint is joint A. Now this joint A, you need to refer to that substitute frame that we have drawn. So at A, how many members are coming? So member AE, AB and AI. AE, AB and AI. These three members are joining at point A, right? You can see that substitute frame. Then K is equal to I by L. So I we already know for member AE, right? For member AE, A is a column. So for column we already found out moment of inertia I, which is 675 into 10 raised to 6. So 675 into 10 raised to 6 divided by length of that member 3350 mm. We can convert it into mm. 3.35 meter, that is 3350 mm. So this answer comes out to be 2.01 into 10 raised to 5. Then for AB, so what is the I? It is for beam, so 517.5 into 10 raised to 6 divided by length of that beam is 6000. So if you calculate this is 0.86 into 10 raised to 5. And last for AI, again it is a column, so it will be similar to AE, right? It will be similar to AE, so 2.01 into 10 raised to 5, right? Next we need to find out summation of K, so we need to add this 3, 2.01 plus 0.86 plus 2.01, which comes out to be 4.88 into 10 raised to 5. And last, K divided by summation of K, right? So we get three values. First, K divided by summation of K means we have 2.01 divided by 4.88, right? So which is 0.412. So for this 0.412, this is my distribution factor for AE. For AB, my distribution factor will become 0.176. And for the last member AI, it is again similar to AE, which is 0.412, right? So this completes my calculation at first joint A. Then next we are going to do the calculation at joint B, second point at joint B. So at B, how many members are joining? So again 4 members here, BF, BC, BJ and BA. So first BF, BC, BJ and BA. You need to refer to your substitute frame, right? These are the members that are joining at joint B, right? So same way we need to calculate the K value for BF. So K value for BF is same as K value for AE and AI, right? So I'll directly write down it is similar to this, so 2.01 into 10 raised to 5. For BC is a beam, so we need to calculate this, so 517.5 into 10 raised to 6 divided by, here the length is 4000 now, right? Length is 4000 for BC, so 1.29 into 10 raised to 5. For BJ and BA, for BJ it is again similar to column, so 2.01 into 10 raised to 5. And BA is similar to AB, right? BA is similar to AB, so I can directly write down 0.86 into 10 raised to 5, right? So this is how you can calculate the K stiffness. Then summation of K, so you do the summation of all these 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you will get your answer as 6.17 into 10 raised to 5. Please calculate this answer by yourself and verify. If any mistake, please write in the comment box. Then last step, DF is K divided by summation of K. So first value I am getting it as 0.325. For this 0.325 BF. For BC, my distribution factor is 0.209, and for BJ again 0.325, for BJ 0.325, and for last, for BA, my answer is 0.139, right? So this completes my table for distribution factor. This is how we can calculate the value of distribution factor. So calculate these values, we require moment of inertia, right? We require moment of inertia that we calculated in the previous step, right, by assuming the size of beam and column, right? So now we are supposed to use this distribution factor to calculate the moments, right, using the moment distribution method. So let's get to the next step to find out moment distribution, right? So for that, let me rub this. Next step is moment distribution. So quickly complete this step so that we can move forward to the next step, which is moment distribution. Like this already you studied in your previous semester. It is a revision assault for you guys, right? Moment distribution, or you can write it as MD in short form, right? So for that, again we need to prepare a table. So first table is for joint members. Then after that there will be a column, right? A column, and those members that are acting over there, A column, and at A point we have two columns, that is AE and AI, right? AE and AI, these are the two columns at point A. After that we have span AB and BA, right? Span is AB and BA. After this we have again column, joint is B, and members at this are BF and BJ. Members at this point are BF and BJ. Then after that I have again two members, BC and CB. Members are BC and CB. After that again there is a column C. You need to refer your substitute frame, right? For this, at C we have again two columns, that is CG and CK. And this point onwards there will be a symmetry, right? So for that let's just write for one point only, it will be symmetrical after this. So at this there will be a CD and DC, right? So I will not solve for this DC, we stop at point CD, right? Because of this symmetry. So this is a typical table that you start with, okay? You need to pay attention because this is been done in your, I think, structure analysis part, right? So first we need to write distribution factors, right? So let me write distribution factor first, DF. So what is the distribution factor at AE and AI? So at AE and AI, if you see your distribution factor table, the value is 0.412, 0.412, and you multiply this value by 2, and you multiply this value by 2 because there are two members. 0.412. So this distribution factor will get doubled, so 0.824. First we'll write distribution factor. For AB, what was the distribution factor? We got, it is 0.176. Again for BA, what is the distribution factor that we got? For BA, we have got distribution factor as 0.139. Again for point B, same way, 0.325 multiplied by 2, because 2 joints, 0.135, so it will become 0.325, sorry, not 135, this is 0.325 multiplied by 2, so which is 0.65. For BC, we have 0.209 and CB also same, 0.209. Again for column C, it will be similar to column B, so directly I write down 0.65, and CD, it will be again similar to BA, that is 0.139. Right, so this completes my distribution factor line, right? So after distribution factor, next is fixed end moments, right? So we need to write fixed end moments, FEM, fixed end moments. So at column point, initially there is 0 fixed end moment. initially there will be 0 fixed end moments at all the column points. So let's write down 0 at all these column points. Then at AB we already calculated, so minus 152.52 and plus 152.52. Then for BC span we have minus 62.42 and 62.42, and here minus 152.52. It is 25, not 52, 25. 152.25. 152.25, right? So after this we need to distribute these moments, right? So how to distribute these moments? So let us see that step. So for that we need to multiply the fixed end moment with the distribution factor, right? So first we need to multiply this value. With 0.824. 152.25 multiplied by 0.824, right? So we get your value as 125.45, and you put it as opposite sign. So 125.45, actually it will be minus, but you put it with the opposite sign, right? This is a standard mechanism that we follow for the fixed end moment and for moment distribution, right? So 152.25 multiplied by 824 is 125.45. Again 152.25 multiplied by 0.176. 152.25 multiplied by 0.176. So you'll get your answer as 26.8 with opposite sign, right? 26.8. Actually it will be minus, but we put it as opposite sign. Again 152.25 multiplied by 0.139. So you'll get 12.48. Then again for point B, so we multiply 152.25 with 0.65 with opposite sign, that is minus 98.96 I am getting. So from here I'll get one value, that is minus 98.96, and from right hand side also I have to multiply this with this, right? So I'll get 62.42 multiplied by 0.65. So with opposite sign I am getting my value as 48.57. So plus 48.57, and ultimately my final moment at point B will be minus 58.38, right? So my final moment at this point is 58.38, that is minus. We need to multiply from both the span points and transfer the moment at column B. Again, when we reach point BC, right? So at this point, BC point, we have two moments here, right? We have two moments here, that is 152.25 plus and minus 62.52. So at this point, my net moment will be 152.25 minus 62.42. So let me explain this. At point BC, let me open the calculator. At point BC, what you are getting? At point BC, 152.25 is a moment already there, and next moment is coming as minus 62.42. Alright. So let us calculate that. I'll just open the calculator for you guys so that you can understand it in a better way. It's a hands-on tutorial, so I would not suggest anything else. So let me open my calculator. Just a second, guys. Okay, right? So I'll share my screen. So this is the calculator here. Okay, right? So 152.25 minus second moment for BC is 62.42, so 62.42, I am getting my final moment as 89.83. So if I multiply this 89.83 with distribution factor 0.209, multiply by 0.209, I'll be getting my final fixed end moment as 18.77, right? I'm getting my final moment as 18.77, right? So I hope you understood how this value is coming, 18.77. So let's go back to the board. So let's write down this value over here, 18.77, right? So here it will be positive or negative, it will be negative 18.77. And on the other side also we are going to do the same process, right? Because the values are same, so it will be the same answer, which is 18.77 positive. And this is C is similar to B, so again we have same answer but with positive sign, which is plus 58.38. Right, and at the last we have again 12.48 with opposite sign. Alright, so I hope you understood this step. Now next we need to do the balance, we need to do the balancing act. So this is a balance. After balance we require carryover. So how do we do carryover? We carry over half of that balance moment, right? So how do we do that? So there is a dash here, we carry this moment over here, we carry this moment over here, but in half amount. So 12.48 divided by 2, so minus 6.24, and 26.8 divided by 2 is 13.4. There is no carryover at the column points. Then 9.38 and minus 9.38, 9.38 and minus 9.38, and at the last we have minus 13.4, similar to this. So this completes my carryover. Now the question comes, up to how much points we need to do this process. This completes my one cycle. So up to how much cycle I need to continue this process? So answer is, you need to continue this process until these both values are similar, until your balance, after doing the balance, your final moments comes out to be similar, right? So let's repeat the process. Now I quickly repeat the process. So again I need to do the balance. So now I'm using these values, I'm going to use these values. So 6.24 multiplied by 0.824, which is 5.14. Then 6.24 multiplied by 0.176, which is 1.1 with opposite sign, that's why it is positive. Then 13.4 multiplied by 0.139, which is 3.17, so it will be minus 3.17, right? So I hope you understood this process. Now I quickly write down the points. So this, at B point I have minus 14.81. Same process we are doing here, right? Second cycle. Then minus 4.76. Again at C point I have 14.81, and here 3.17. After the balance I need to do the carryover. After balance we are doing the carryover. So this half here, half left, half right, same way on the last point. So minus 3.17 divided by 2 will give me 1.58, and 1.1 divided by 2 is 0.55. Again 4.76 divided by 2 is 2.38, and minus 2.38, and at the last I will be having minus 0.55. Alright, again one more cycle, I need to do the balance. So again same process, this multiplied by this 0.824. So 1.58 multiplied by 0.824 with opposite sign, that is 1.30. Again minus 1.58 multiplied by 0.176, that is 0.28 minus 0.41, then minus 1.9 minus 0.61, 0.61, then 1.9 and 0.41. We are repeating the process, right? Then we need to do the carryover again. So at column points there is no carryover, half left, half right, half left, half right, right on the last. So I'm getting my final value. We need to do this until these values become nearer to 0. That is also a point where you can stop. So now this will be minus 0.20, minus 0.14, so 0.14, then 0.3, minus 0.3, and in the last I have minus 0.14. Do it for one more thing. I am trying to get these values nearer to 0, right? Carryover values nearer to sorry, not carryover, I am trying to get my balance values nearer to 0, balance values nearer to 0, right? So again balance, again balance. So I'll just quickly write down the values. 0.16, then 0.04 minus 0.06, then minus 0.28, 0.09, minus 0.09, and 0.28 and 0.06. And if I do the carryover step, if I do, this is the carryover, this is the balance, right? This is the balance. Now let me calculate the final moments. Let me calculate the final moments. Let me calculate the final moments. So final moments will be summation of all the balance moments. Final moment is summation of all the balance moments. So 125.45 plus 5.14 plus 1.3 plus 0.16. So let us see that final moment will be summation of all the balance. So 125.45 plus 5.14 plus 1.30 plus 0.16. So I am getting final answer is 132.05. 132.05 is my final answer, right? So that is my final moment, 132.05 at column point A. Same way, do the summation of all the balance moments, right? Do the summation of all the balance moments, do the summation of all the moments including fixed end moment, right? So for second, minus 152.25, right, plus 26.80 plus 1.1 plus 0.28 plus 0.04. So I am getting my answer is minus 132.05, minus 132.05. Next I am getting my answer as 150.22. For B point it is minus 75.37, then 74.59, and again it is 74.59. Here I am getting minus So this is 74.59, at C point 75.37, and last minus 150.22. So this completes my moment distribution method, and we have calculated the final moments. We calculate the final moments using the moment distribution method. So you need to remember these values, because we are going to use these values in design of beam and in design of columns also, right? So we have calculated the column moments and beam moments using moment distribution method, right? So this is it. We have completed our bending moment calculation for beams and slab, right? So thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and share this with your friends also, right? And do not forget to subscribe my channel. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe it and hit the bell button, so that in future you do not forget to watch my any of the latest uploaded videos. Thank you so much for watching. Keep practicing, keep learning.